why Republicans are responsible for the shutdown.
Hatter's gonna hat. This girl needs to take a civics class. Senate vote requires 60 votes to reopen the government. The Republicans, all 53 of them, voted yes 12 times and counting, while 47 Democrats refused to vote yes. Only 7 Democrats need to vote yes. Tell me how you can pin this on Trump or the Republicans. Or this one. Shows her ignorance. I'm gonna hold y'all's hands while I say this, as slowly and clearly and succinctly as possible. All of the Senate rules are a construct. They only exist as long as the Senate wants them to exist. And at any moment, with a majority vote, they can go poof, away. So when I tell you that if the GOP really believed that there would be no political consequences for what they would do if they actually passed appropriations or a continuing resolution or anything else remotely resembling a budget on purely unilateral lines, I mean, they could do that at literally any time, which means they know that there would be political consequences for them not behaving in a bipartisan manner. And guess what? Being bipartisan means you have to work with the other party's demands. That is why one singular branch cannot enact new laws all by itself. So if you
So smart. One of the smartest people doing social media, well-versed, has the background to do it. She's absolutely right. And for those Republicans that are hating on her, did you really pass your civics lessons? Have you heard of the filibuster? Have you heard of how many times people can use the filibuster in a year? There's ways if Republicans, because they have the majority, wanted to get this done, they could, but they're not. So stop attacking her as if she doesn't know what she's talking about. Maybe you should get out the Fox News bubble and do your own research, have the intellectual curiosity to just go hit ChatGPT and ask a few questions. Because if you do, you might start learning that what the Democrats are pushing is there to help you, even though you vote against your own interests. And this next video is how a governor whose state voted against their own interests has decided she's going to step in and save you from yourselves. And the controversy here is, should we be helping those that vote against their own interests? I'll drop my knowledge on you when we get back. And this is another phenomenal TikToker. Please go follow him. Check him out.
I pride myself on making videos that are simple, man. When I was getting my master's in economics, I remember thinking, I don't want somebody to have to get a master's to understand me. The question that I'm going to ask you at the end of this video is going to be very simple, but it is going to be very, very uncomfortable. So Gretchen Whitmer, the Democratic governor in Michigan, just passed a bill that fully funds Medicaid in her state. So the people in Michigan almost lost their health care coverage to Donald Trump's Medicaid cuts in his big, beautiful bill. They got this close. But Gretchen Whitmer stepped up and said, not on my watch, not in my state. I'll protect it. But if you remember, Donald Trump won Michigan in 2024. He carried the state. The people of Michigan voted in the guy who just tried to take a sledgehammer to their healthcare coverage and got saved from the consequences of their vote by their Democratic governor, by Democratic politics. So here's your uncomfortable question. How many times and how much longer are we going to keep saving people from the consequences of their vote? How much longer do we expect people to be able to wreak havoc in presidential elections and then hide behind the refuge of Democratic politics? The Republican president, George Bush, gets elected and gets handed an economy from Bill Clinton that's booming. The GDP is at 4%, just created 22 million jobs. The unemployment rate is at a 33-year low. America says, yeah, thanks, Democrats, we got it from here. Hands it to George Bush. He leaves it in a recession. Obama gets handed an economy that's losing 700,000 jobs a month, fixes it up, makes 16 million jobs, cuts the unemployment rate from 8% to 4.8%. America says, yeah, thanks for pulling us out of recession, Obama. Thanks for pulling out of recession, Democrats. We've got it from here. Hands it back to the Republicans. Hands Donald Trump an economy that is on the largest economic expansion in the history of America, 128 consecutive months. Trump leaves it in a recession again. Actually, 10 of the last 11 recessions have all been under Republican presidents. How long do we expect Democratic politics to clean up your mess? Democratic politics killed cigarette usage indoors. Republicans fought tooth and nail against it. Democratic politics created Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. Democratic politics created the 40-hour work week, the minimum wage, the VA, the Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act. Republican politics, we're on the opposing end of every single one of those things. Aren't we so lucky that they happen to lose? But how much longer does America continue to expect to get saved from the Republican politics it keeps voting for by the Democratic politics that it keeps voting away?
Republicans watching this, Google search that or chat GPT it, and you will find that every single thing he said is true. Whether you are for it or against it, everything he said is fact. This is not conjecture. This is not him making up stuff. Every single thing he said is true. So all those things that you didn't know came from Democrats, VA benefits, the work schedule, all those things Republicans voted against your interests is because they keep you hyped up on a sugar high of hate. They keep you believing that your race should be the one on top. And the reason you can't have nice things is because of those black people, because of DEI, because of those immigrants coming here illegally. Keep you voted on, keep your mind on that, while behind you, they cut you and gut you like a pig on Thanksgiving, for those that don't eat turkey. Do a little research, Republicans. Figure out that the party that has been trying to have price control, wage control, and help thwart the 1% is the Democrats. And right now they're getting it in New York with Zohran Mamdani. A lot of the people that voted for Trump understand his message of what can we do to fix inflation? How can we improve affordable housing? And Zohran is doing that, and people are hearing it because they're seeing in real time the Republicans not dancing and hiding their policies, but doubling down on it and playing in your face, as we say in the Black community. And so, yeah, shouts out to Gretchen Whitmer. But the issue here is, how long do we keep saving y'all? My answer to that would be, we have to keep saving them until they come home, because we don't want to harm the greater majority of people. The greater majority of people are not in the top 10%. They're middle class and poor. They're small businesses. And you don't want to harm them, even though some of them keep wanting to harm themselves. We want to take care of everybody. We want to make sure that everybody has an equal opportunity at thriving in American capitalism by having a good mix of social programs to help you get there. And so at the end of the day, the way I see we need to punish the people that vote against their own interests is to, whenever they break the law, when their asses get caught in criminal acts, we can't keep pussyfooting around here and giving them something that could be a maximum penalty of 20 years, slapping them on the wrist and making them go to jail for 2 years. Nah, fuck that. If you get caught in white collar crime, which harms people way more than shooting somebody in the face for robbing a liquor store, because if you rob someone who's involved in a Ponzi scheme and you take their whole life savings, imagine the depression they have to go through for years. Imagine having to go work at Walmart at the front door for years. Imagine these con artists who voted for Trump that run these online schemes, pretending like they made it when they just faking it till they make it. Those crimes, to me, are worse, because you have to live with the pain and agony for years after they've done it to you, and then they only get a slap on the wrist, go hide money in the Cayman Islands and shit, places where the government can't get to it, maybe get slapped on the wrist with 18 months house arrest, some stupid shit like that. And then they're right back to doing cons again with the people's money they stole. Or when people do racial crimes, racial discrimination, their asses need to feel the brunt of prison and not these slaps on the wrist. That's how you fix those people, not by taking away the very things that give them the basic necessities of life. Last but not least, here's Rachel Maddow breaking down how all this is happening, and we'll finish this video up when she's done speaking.
I mean, these are insane numbers. States are now starting to release the actual numbers on what the Republicans' policy changes have done to health insurance costs with this legislation that they've passed this year. This is what the Democrats have been making a stink about. You've heard, like, Democrats are concerned in the shutdown fight about health care costs and health insurance, and you think, like, oh, Democrats are always concerned about health costs. That's nice. I care about health costs. I'm glad they're standing up for it. No, it's this specific thing. You want to know what the Democrats are making a stink about with the shutdown? You want to know what the Democratic side is of the fight over the shutdown? Look at these numbers from the New York Times tonight. Look at this. This is for the tens of millions of Americans who get their health insurance through the online marketplaces. Look. Based on the newly posted information, meaning the pricing information that's now being posted in multiple states, a family of four making $130,000 in Maine, so you combine the family's income, everybody's salaries, you got up to $130,000, that family would face an increase in their annual health insurance premiums next year of $16,100. That's how much their health insurance premiums would go up. But maybe that's, that sounds like it's a fairly well-off family, and you think, oh, well, maybe that doesn't apply to me. I'm not quite in that kind of a bracket. Well, imagine you're in a couple, you're each 60 years old, and you put both of your salaries together combined, you make $85,000 a year. So maybe one of you's making 40 grand a year, maybe one of you's making $45,000 a year. Combined, your couple's income is $85,000 a year. In Maryland, your insurance premium is going to go up by $13,700. In Minnesota, your insurance is going to go up by $15,500. In Nevada, it's going to go up by $18,100. In Kentucky, the increase for you guys as a couple will be that you are expected to pay an additional $23,700 per year. That is the amount of increase we are looking at in people's health insurance premiums. Can your family afford just randomly an additional charge of $24,000 for exactly what you're getting right now, for $24,000 less than that? I mean, these are insane numbers. But this is what Republicans, in their policy changes on healthcare, what they have done to health insurance costs. And this specifically is what Democrats have been screaming bloody murder about. This is what Democrats have been drawing the line about in this shutdown, telling Republicans that this is the thing they need to fix. Think they're going to fix it? Think they will? President Trump doesn't appear real focused on it.
That's because he's not trying to fix it. And Republicans who might be watching this, don't take her word for it. Don't take my word for it. Google search it or Chat GPT it. And did you notice how this stuff is going up severely in Democratic states, and then it's going up worse in Republican states? She mentioned Kentucky. They have a Democratic governor, but the House and Senate, that's something different. And the price there is going to go up $23,000. Now, Republicans would have had you believe that the reason they voted Trump in office was because the price of their eggs was damn near $3 an egg when you go to the grocery store. That's not why they voted. They lied. They voted about hate. They voted about immigration, because we still got dumbasses who are more happy that Trump is rounding up people, sometimes legal people to this country, because it gives them their rocks off, than they are about how much everything costs around them. Let that sink in. You hate another group of people so much that you're okay with the president lying about fixing inflation, because inflation has gone up because of his dumbass tariffs. You're okay about rounding up and getting rid of DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, because you're okay with DEI for white people, which is didn't earn it, running the country. And for you, you would rather see a house that we all live in burn down. And as you're burning and in pain, as long as you can see your neighbor Democrats, liberals, and you're owning the libs burning as you burn, that gives you your rocks off, even though you're in pain. Republicans, the reason you can't have nice things is because instead of voting by the facts, you allow the Fox News bubble to keep you in that bubble, You don't have any curiosity to go outside that bubble and watch something outside of that, or even just Google search and research what's really going on to understand the policies that are affecting you each and every day and how those policies are hurting you. Your quality of life could be so much better if you would allow the vote to be Democratic and not Republican. When you vote for these, some of you guys vote because of hate, and then on the back end, you vote because you don't want not a single tax increase. When you don't understand taxes are never going to go away, and if we're going to have them, why not use that money for what's best for the good of everybody and not the 1% and the corporations? And on top of that, if we're going to really, really try to make sure that the country stays thriving, we need everybody to have a better quality of life. And a better quality of life would be better social programs from early child care education so that families can actually go to work if you got young kids, a better education so that we can continue to compete in a global economy. This administration and Republicans want to dumb down education because they don't want you smart. The smarter you are, the less likely you are to be wanting to. Your ambition is not going to be just to work for somebody. It's going to be how can you improve yourself? And then you start questioning why the government moves the way it moves. And you quickly realize that voting Republican does not help you unless you are in that top 1 or 2%. So post your comments, y'all. Let me know what you think. Shout out to Big Gretch Whitmer. Big Gretch is what they call her in Michigan, for holding it down. I was chastising her at one point in time because she went and did a photo op with Trump. But obviously, that was just a photo op because she's still fighting for people that don't even believe in what she believes in, but she's fighting for them anyway. Shout out to the 2 TikTokers, Kate Powell and my homie, who broke down how Democrats are better for the economy than Republicans because Democrats believe in getting everyone involved, not just the 1%. Stay tuned as I play my idea for solving gun problems in America. I call it the Tyson Save the Kids Act. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe. Be sure to turn on those notifications here to the Politics of Being Black because I'm hearing people aren't getting them. And until that next Sex is Hell video, for those on the podcast, please come and subscribe to the channel. And for those finding me on other places, subscribe. Here's the Tyson Save the Kids Act, and I'll see you on the next one. My friends, I've come up with a decent solution for gun violence. I'm calling this the Lamont Tyson Save the Kids Gun Chip Act. How does it work? We have microchips installed in every high-power manufactured gun and long-range rifle. And anytime that gun gets within a 2-mile radius of a highly populated area, it pings the local authorities, it pings the campus police. Hell, it can also ping the Walmart flashlight guy. And they go see what's going on and they shut down the situation before it gets there. The next phase of this would be that we have thumbprint activated guns. But for now, let's do the microchip. The NRA, those who own guns, as well as the government, should all be happy with this because it helps all of them. NRA makes money because the government would provide the funding to put the chips in the guns. The gun manufacturers get money because of the same situation. The government should be smiling because instead of having these kids die at an early age, you'll have them live and they'll be long-living taxpayers. And rednecks who claim that they ain't up to no good should like it too, but I know what they would say. I don't want no damn government tracking me. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? If your redneck friend, your MAGA friend, or whoever owns a gun also own a cell phone, their asses is already being tracked. Please share this with your politicians, your local folks who can make things happen. The Lamont Tyson Save the Kids Gun Chip Act, it's a win-win for everybody. Everybody in this situation has skin in the game, and there's no excuses for us not getting this done with the technology we have. This is a win for everybody. Please share.